What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, coming at you from the Prime Inc. terminal in Pittston, Pennsylvania. Just got done delivering my load that picked up in Jersey City with 2 stops in Pennsylvania. One in Pottsville, which I've been to that area before. The second drop was in a place called Cole Township. Never heard of that place, but got done delivering there. So now I am sitting out here. I'm working on about a good 30-something hours. So just waiting for my wife to give me a call, and then it's time to hit the rack, as they used to say in the Marines. Anyway, listen, this message goes out to anybody that is in training or just at the very beginning of their trucking career. You know, when you first get into this, I would speculate that more people than not have thought about quitting during this. You know, it's a very high turnover profession. And there's a lot of reasons why people want to quit. Now, if this doesn't work for your lifestyle or things like that, that's one thing. But I'm talking about people that are wanting to quit because the actual driving of the trucks, you know, the things like that. So, you know, I just got done talking with one of the people that I know really well. He trains, and he told me that the person he was training just quit because they'd gone through some mountains and said they couldn't handle it, and then just they were too scared to continue, so they quit. You know, I was on Facebook, and there was somebody that was talking about quitting because they didn't know how to back a truck. Now, I don't remember if they were still in training or if they were actually out of training. So, you know, one thing I wanted to say, some of you guys have been with me since the very beginning, and some of you guys have kind of came along through my journey. But at the very beginning of my journey, I know I did a video where I said I was about to quit. And the difference between quitting and about to quit is being able to push through that shit. You know what I mean? And I'll just kind of revisit that story real quick. But I'd got with my first trainer, and he really didn't tell me how to use engine brakes, all that kind of stuff. I'm dealing with some of these back roads in Pennsylvania, and I'm really not a person that has like anxiety or something like that, but I mean, I was like having damn near panic attacks. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't like on 80 or 81. I forget what highway it was, but it was very curvy, up and down, all that kind of stuff. And I pulled over at a rest area to kind of compose myself, and I was just like, I'm not sure I could do this. So once I was done driving, I seriously contemplated that. And how I rationalized it in my mind was this. You know, I really wasn't trusting the equipment, and I'm not saying you need to be ripping and running through these mountains or anything like that, but if I'm seeing a truck in front of me and they're able to hold this curve and all that kind of stuff without braking and doing all this stuff, then I should be able to do the same thing. So that was the rationale that went through my head. But even more so, I was like, well, if I quit, I'm not going to be trucking, and then maybe if I put this truck in the side of this mountain, I won't be trucking either. So, you know, I just finally had to say, I just finally had to go for it. I really can't explain the rationale in my mind, but once I kind of got that mindset that I don't have anything to lose, and in reality, maybe I didn't have as much to lose as some people do. You know, as far as trucking goes, I could lose trucking. So whether I made it in trucking or not, it really wasn't going to matter. Some people may not have that luxury, but however you have to rationalize in your head, you're going to be able to do this at some point. You know what I'm saying? This is a temporary issue that you're going through that you need to work past. Now, as far as the backing and stuff like that goes, I was kind of lucky because I stayed on my trainer's truck forever. But even then, when I first got out, you're never going to really, truly learn how to back until you're out on your own. And the reason for that is, even if you kind of know how to back, or even if your trainer really taught you how to back, everybody kind of looks at the way they back a lot different. I know that I approach the way I back things different than my trainer did, and everybody kind of has their own technique, so you're really not going to know how to back until you really get out there on your own and develop it yourself. And not knowing, think about it like this, not knowing how to back, at some point, if that's your fear, you're gonna learn how to do it. I was watching this video about this Violin Prodigy, and she became a prodigy, a violin prodigy, not because she took lessons. She completely learned that shit on her own. Her parents, not to fit any stereotypes, she was Asian. Her parents gave her a violin and basically said, have at it. So no music, didn't know how to read music, never was taught, and she became a violin prodigy just by exercise. So at some point it's gonna start clicking. I mean, even if they just gave you a truck and you didn't know how to drive the truck and they just said teach yourself how to back, at some point you're gonna learn how to do that. So don't quit over things like that. The quitting because of lifestyle thing, like I said, those are totally different things and understandable. But once you get this job, once you get even like halfway competent with your backing, and even when you're really not like feeling 100% comfortable in certain driving situations, this becomes the easiest job in the world. Now, like I said, there's going to be tough times in it. Everybody has their things they like and don't like. I don't like going down into New Jersey and New York and all that kind of stuff. But, if I had to deal with that all the time, maybe, I would learn to appreciate it more. But it's certainly, even though I don't like it, isn't a reason that even in the beginning, like when I first went down there as a trainee, it really wasn't anything that was going to push me to the point of quitting, even if it was something I felt like I had to deal with every day. So, moral of the story, listen, you're going to face hard times, you know what I'm saying? Tough people make it through tough times. All them little random sayings that they have, just stick with it, you know what I'm saying? Just believe in yourself. I'm not trying to be no motivational speaker out here or anything, but just realize that there are thousands, maybe even millions of truck drivers that have had the same issues as you. If you're having problems backing right now, I'm telling you, there's somebody else that's I can guarantee you there's somebody up here right now holding up a shipper or holding up trucks at a shipper because they're blocking all the traffic because they can't get their back in right now. There's somebody right now that's driving through West Virginia on one of them back highways that's talking about quitting right now, that's going to be driving trucks in 10 years from now. So just realize you're not in isolation with this problem. You're not the only one that's thinking about quitting. You're not the only person that is going through these things. So keep that in mind. And like I said, once you get past all this, the reward is the most relaxing job you could possibly have on earth. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.